The year was 1999. I was in 5th grade in Mr. Jackson's TV production class at Kingsford Elementary School. Mr. Jackson would teach class in jeans, Jordans, a graphic tee or maybe a jersey. He made his lessons fun and relatable, like some sort of hip-hop generational translator or something like that. He spoke our language and really connected to us. One day, he said, "Take out your papers." He was assigning us our first advertisement assignment where we had to create our own brand. So, we did it. When it was my turn to present, Mr. Jackson called me up and I handed him my visual aid and sat back down. He's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm good." "You're good? If you don't present, you're gonna get a 50%, which means you're failing." I'm like, just pass over me. So he let it go. And at the end of class, Mr. Jackson calls me into the control room and is like, "Why didn't you present?" And I'm like, "I have stage fright." And he said, "Oh man, you gotta get out of that. That'll hold you back from living life if you let it. I tell you what, any other teacher would have failed you. I'm gonna give you some time to get it together, but you still have to present to get credit." So 3 days later, I walked in the classroom ready, like, "Mr. Jackson, can I present my project?" And he's like, "Of course." So I did it, and as soon as I finished, the class gave a round of applause, and Mr. Jackson said, "That was actually a really good idea." So this is why we're here. 15 years later, after a few modifications, of course, I'm here, so excited to represent my 5th grade project assigned by my first black male educator, Mr. Jackson. Underground, remix live. We're live. Right here in the underground with a legend. A black male educator as well. He's been teaching for over 30 years. Shout outs to Mr. Abiodun Oyewole. Hey! There are 3 terms that I learned working on this project. I'm curious if you are familiar with them and if you have any experience with them. There's the Matthew effect, there's the cradle to prison superhighway, and then the prison industrial complex. Are you familiar with any of those?
The prison industrial complex smacks me in my face every day.
Did you have any black male educators?
Yeah.
No. One black male teacher coming up?
No. Not all female.
Elementary school, middle, high school?
You got to get to college first. You got to get to, graduate past, the high school graduation. 43% of African American males don't graduate from high school. So it's over 50% don't graduate in major cities like Chicago, San Francisco, LA. 50% of them do not graduate from high school. So now you saying
Out of the ones that do.
Out of the ones that do, who get to college. And here I was talking to Baker, the engineers in the room, how there is a dire need for black engineers. There is a dire, and I'm saying, and there's a dire need for black males in education. There's just not enough of us to fill.
Everywhere. Okay.
Everywhere. You see what I'm saying? You kind of see the picture now? At the end of 1st grade, if a student is not reading on grade level, he has a 90% chance of not reading on grade level by the end of 4th grade. So if it has a 90% chance of not reading on grade level by the end of 4th grade, guess what? By the time you get to middle school, it's going to 60, it's just going higher. Can't fix it in middle school, get to high school. So that's how you end up with all these high school dropouts, and black kids can't read because the gap is widening, and people think they can fix it in middle school or fix it, when they get to high school. That's why we have to put our bang for our buck on the front end.
The state is building prisons based off 4th grade reading scores. So students who, it's all tied back to reading and literacy, meaning that by the time a student, if he's not reading on grade level by 4th grade, the the state is using those numbers to build prison systems. Not colleges, not scholarships, but prisons. The cradle to prison superhighway.
So the black men are out there. They just...
Yeah, we are.
We're out there.
Yeah, we're definitely out there. Very fertile.
I think it's important for them to see the role models. They can't aspire to be something they never see. You know, they can't wait till high school when they already picked the career that they think they want to do to decide they're going to all of a sudden become a teacher. So I wish the salary was more, but life is what it is.
I hear on average starting salary is around $30,000.
More or less.
Well, you know that unfortunately teaching is one of the poorest professions professions. I mean, it's embarrassing because there is no occupation that anyone can have without going through a teacher.
Period.
I mean, period. The lack of black educators is definitely not helpful to the growth and development of the black community. We need to see more black educators. We need to have black men, especially standing in front of our kids. I look at how the kids respond to my son, who's getting his master's in early childhood education. They love him dearly, and then he'll invite me to the school, and I just look at their faces. They're all lit up. They're happy. They're exciting. I mean, it's like to see a black man that they can communicate with, that they can trust, they can feel secure by, because the whole concept of man is that he is the rock that we stand on, that we can, that will hopefully save us from the dragon, and to have that as a black man gives a whole nother understanding. I think just having more black men in classrooms would also keep more black men in homes as well.
They see me and classify me with all them. They look at me and only see a problem. Trapped in the cage that they built, they got another thing coming if they think they're gonna starve them. Cards on the table, all in. They dug a hole, expected us to fall in. If you never let me fall for the trap, and I never let you, how they gon' break that? I hear my soul singing, making all the same leaps. Everyone I know singing, still marching to the same beat. The whole world is screaming, be free, be free, be free.
Time, only it will tell. The difference between now and then, before and after the sin, crossroads for decisions. Even when we've arrived, God still gives us time. Wisdom is time. There was then and now there's now. Without now there's no process. Before you knew, you learned how. From who is the question makes a difference in your direction. Thank God for perfection, there's still time for correction. With all this deception, there's time for elevation. Never mind what your race is, let me tell you what today is. Lacking leaders courageous to give a little demonstration. How the hell do I get out of this? 400 years optimist. Look out my window, there's my options. Born in debt, thank for the option. It's my job to find an exodus. Wasn't my request ridiculous? Life is too expensive, some just take it. Fresh out the womb, prisons wait. Segregation's education. 4th grade, they know what boxing when frustrations, limitations, then the anger hit. Hell yeah, I'm angry, I was prompted. Figment of imagination, my script had already been written until I learned how to read it. Slowly learning where my wounds exist. Thought I was just bleeding, no, I was hit. Territory comes with an environment. Tap into it, your conscience. You know that butterfly gut feeling, like standing on the edge of a cliff. Follow it, no hesitation. Lean out on your own understanding. Corruption's education. Invisible walls, suffrage, taxation, a representative. All these politics, babies crying, mothers pushing strollers on their lonesome. Up the stairs on the subway, help for today, 5 yesterday. All for what is my inquiry? No judgment play, I'm just trying to see. Through the night, how do you sleep? Isolated from reality. Are you really happy? The mansions, the cars, and the keys. The C-store live where grandma be pleased, gave you love unconditionally. Mother down, praying on the knees, good occupation but you lonely. Built so high it's no turning back. What could it be that you really lack? You got it, it's under your favorite hat. It's not your fault, just think back. Simba thought he killed Mufasa. Did Bob Marley really die of cancer? Does anyone have an answer? Wisdom and understanding spread like cancer. They live in books. Board waiting for you, the truth is dying. Can anybody save her?